South Korea is home to Samsung, Hyundai, and LG, brands that generated hundreds of billions in revenue last year. Online forums are full of posts from people dreaming of landing a Korean corporate job. But here is a number that changes the conversation. According to Statistics Korea, the median monthly wage for a full-time worker in 2023 was approximately 2,600,000 won, roughly $2,000 a month. Not the polished figure people expect from a high-tech industrial giant. So why is the gap between Korea's corporate image and its actual salary data so wide? And who exactly is earning what? Let's build the picture carefully. Statistics Korea's wage survey data shows that the average, not median, monthly wage sits closer to 3,500,000 won, pulled upward by high earners at large conglomerates. The gap between mean and median already tells a story of inequality. The OECD ranks South Korea among member nations with a relatively high share of low-wage workers, defined as those earning less than two-thirds of the median, around 17% of workers as of recent data. Meanwhile, the wage premium for working at a large firm versus a small or mid-size enterprise is dramatic. Workers at companies with 300 or more employees earn roughly twice the wage of those at firms with fewer than 10 employees, according to Ministry of Employment and Labor Statistics. Gender adds another layer. Korea's gender pay gap remains the widest in the OECD, with women earning approximately 31% less than men on average. And youth unemployment for Koreans aged 15 to 29 hovers persistently around 7 to 8%, masking a much larger share who are underemployed or in precarious contract roles. To understand these numbers, you need to understand one word: chaebol. Korea's post-war economic model was built on a state-directed investment channeled through massive family-owned conglomerates. The result was extraordinary GDP growth, but a deeply dual labor market. At the top tier sit permanent employees at Samsung Electronics or Hyundai Motor, well compensated, heavily protected, and relatively few in number. Below them is a vast secondary market of subcontractors, temporary workers, and small business employees with little job security and no comparable benefits. This structure was cemented further by Korea's rigid seniority-based pay system, where wages are tied primarily to years of service rather than output. That system rewards long tenure at a single large firm, but most workers never gain access to those firms in the first place. The college entrance culture intensifies the bottleneck. Demand for the top university degrees that unlock chaebol recruitment is extreme, and those who fall outside that narrow gate often find themselves in permanently lower wage tracks. The system was optimized for industrial-era growth, not for broad-based wage distribution. The costs are real and accumulating. Korea's household debt-to-GDP ratio is among the highest in the world. The Bank of Korea and OECD data both place it well above 100%, partly because wages for many families have not kept pace with housing costs, pushing people toward debt to maintain living standards. The fertility rate, already the lowest ever recorded for any country, stood at 0.72 in 2023, according to Statistics Korea. Economists broadly agree that financial insecurity among young adults, the inability to afford housing or stable employment, is a significant structural driver. A growing share of young Koreans are also simply opting out of the labor market entirely, a phenomenon tracked in Statistics Korea data as those who report being in a state of rest or disengagement. Corporate Korea, meanwhile, faces a talent retention problem in sectors outside the top conglomerates. Skilled workers in smaller firms leave or disengage at high rates. The dual structure that once powered growth is now generating quiet drag. Korea is not a unique story. It is a compressed, highly visible version of a pattern playing out across many developed economies. Headline economic success that coexists with, and sometimes produces, deep internal wage stratification. The chaebol model delivered prosperity at scale, but it also built walls. The lesson for observers everywhere is that GDP and median income are not the same measure, and treating national brand image as a proxy for typical worker experience is a category error. When Reddit threads celebrate Korean tech salaries, they are almost always describing a small elite tier, The same selective picture exists in conversations about Silicon Valley, or London finance, or any economy defined by a few dominant anchor institutions. The number that matters is not the ceiling, it is where the floor sits and how many people are standing on it.